Fieldhouse, everybody. My name is Dave Danis. Today by Michigan student assistant coach for the first of 8 games championship tournament, the first ever event of its kind to be played in Michigan. Today's first game will be between the Rangers of Regis and the Bears of Northern Colorado. There you see Regis. Let's go down to court lineups.
Team member, outside hitter, a sophomore from Carson City, Colorado at 5'9", number 1, Felicia Garcia. Two, Stacey West. A 5'5" defensive specialist from Lakewood, Colorado, senior, number 4, Katrina Morris. At 5'6", the junior from Irvine, California, outside hitter, number 5, Catherine Gray. A 6-foot middle hitter from Littleton, Colorado, sophomore, number 7, Nikki Ivanto. 5'8" sophomore from Thornton, Colorado, outside hitter, number 8, Andy Brunder. A 5'5" center from Westland, Oregon, junior captain, number 9, Renee St. Marie. A 5'4" sophomore from Collins, Wyoming, and center, number 10, Wendy Dillon. Middle hitter, a junior from Corvallis, Oregon, and 5'10", captain, number 11, Julie Deacon. A freshman from Mexico City, Mexico, 5'11" middle hitter, number 12, Katja Molly. 5'11" middle hitter from Colebrook, Nebraska, and sophomore, number 13, Stephanie Morgan. 5'10" sophomore from Brighton, Colorado, and middle hitter, number 14, Amy Hill. Head coach of the Rangers is Frank Fabricia. Assistant coach, Mike McLean. Manager, Joe Gallen.
There you see Frank Lavricia, head coach of the Regis Rangers. Regis coming into Marquette from Colorado, and they're facing an in-state opponent in the Bears of Northern Colorado.
The regional affiliation is the North Central. They're from Greeley, Colorado. They beat Hedgcock Fieldhouse and Nebraska Omaha to advance to the finals. Their record is 34-4. Their 9th appearance in the NCAA championship. Team members are 5'1" senior from Denver, Colorado, defensive specialist, captain, number 1, Vicky Brewer. Center at 5'6", Colorado Springs, junior, number 2, Donna Beck. 5'5" freshman from IF Hawaii, center, number 4, Don Fujimoto. From Thornton, Colorado, a 5'8" outside hitter, sophomore, number 5, Amber Benny. 5'11" freshman from Lyman, Colorado, middle blocker, number 7, Kelly Bender. And middle blocker from Lincoln, Nebraska, a 5'10" sophomore, number 8, Brittany Plackett. 6-foot sophomore, middle blocker from Omaha, Nebraska, number 9, Don Schaefer. A junior from Gillette, Wyoming, a 5'11" middle blocker, number 11, Erica Whitemore. And outside hitter from Colorado Springs, Colorado, a 5'9" senior captain, number 12, Tina Cash. A center and outside hitter from Colorado Springs, Colorado, 5'10" sophomore, number 14, Stormy Wells. A 5'9" sophomore from Arvada, Colorado, outside hitter, number 16, Debbie Torres. From Gillette, Wyoming, a 5'11" middle blocker, a freshman, number 18, Tanya Norris. The head coach of the Bears is Linda Delk.
Linda Delk, the head coach of the Northern Colorado Bears. Kevin, let's talk about these teams a little bit. Regis is a team that really came on in their regional tournament. They were down by an 11-7 count and came back to win 16-14 in the 5th game, rally scoring against Metro State.
Regis a tough team. They run the swing offense. You know, they played real tough. They had a rough beginning of the year. They came around. They really peaked when they need to, and that's basically how they got here to the Elite Eight.
Northern Colorado got here by defeating St. Cloud State and Nebraska Omaha. The player to watch for Northern Colorado, number 12, Dana Cash, an outside hitter from Colorado Springs. And Dana was a player, in fact, that was recruited by Northern Michigan. But Dana this year, first-team All-American, along with a couple of second-teamers in Tatiana Smith and Debbie Ponis.
Really tough competitors out there. Any girl that makes the All-American team, you can just about believe that they're real tough, real good, and I'm sure they're going to be ready to play tonight.
Northern Colorado running the more prominent traditional offense, setting from the outside, killing from the inside, while Regis, as Kevin mentioned, runs the swing offense quite similar to what we'll see run later in the tournament by the host Northern Michigan team. So we're just about set for volleyball action at the Hedgcock Fieldhouse, the Division II Elite 8 championships. Starting out on the front row for UNC will be number 8, Brittany Tonjes, along with Erica Wymore, number 11, the middle blocker, and number 18, Tanya Norris. Meanwhile, for Regis up front, they will have Nikki Eilenfeld, a 6-foot sophomore from Littleton, Colorado, and Renee St. Maria, second-team All-American from West Lynn, Oregon. First serve, Northern Colorado, it will be Dawn Schaefer, sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska. Also in the lineup for UNC, Dana Cash, as we mentioned, number 12, and number 2, Tatiana Smith. And the first kill goes to number 7, Nikki Eilenfeld, out the Regis Bears.
Quick set out the middle, she puts it away.
Side out, the Rangers will serve it up. It'll be number 13, Stephanie Borgman. Across the net, the set. Nice dig by the Rangers, number 13, Stephanie Borgman. And there's the kill, and that goes to the Rangers, or killed against the Rangers by Northern Colorado's number 18, Tanya Norris.
She got a good swing at the ball, hit the ball high, hit it down.
Amber Petty on the service line. They will set it, and the kill off the hand of number 5, Catherine Craig. And maybe the block went up, kind of misanticipated where Catherine Craig was going to hit the ball.
Well, you know, you have a littler hitter out there, and they've been used to using the block because they are a little bit smaller.
And that's Nikki Eilenfeld with her second kill of the afternoon. So Eilenfeld off to a good start. Regis leads it by a score of 1-0. The set. The attempt by Debbie Ponis was countered, and it's now back to Regis. That shot, number 8, Kathy Grinder. And here's a player who's come on later in the season for Regis. Regis is a team last year. They had 8 freshmen and only 3 sophomores, so they are a young squad. They got off to a slow start this season. As you see the kill, Regis got off to a 2-9 start, but comes into the tournament with a record of 23-12. A real credit to Coach Frank Lavrisha.
Frank's done a great job this year. They had a little bit of stormy weather in the beginning, but they seem to be coming along all right.
And it will fall in for Kathy Gronder, just catching the inside of the back line, and a timeout will be called by UNC, down 4-0.
Regis Rangers taking it to them. Running the quick stuff out of the middle. They're getting the kills on the outside their knee, and they're passing the ball pretty well right now.
For Regis to get here, they defeated Central Missouri State 15-7, 7-15, 15-13, and 15-8. Meanwhile, then went on, as we mentioned earlier, to upset Metro State 15-13, 13-15, 15-7, 12-15, and in a thrilling 5th game, they won it by a score of 16-14. We talked a moment ago about Kathy Bronder. She was an all-region player in that tournament. Didn't spend most of the season as a starter, but came on as a replacement when one of the players went down with injury, and came on strong. Craig still with the service. Tonjes, and they get the kill as Stephanie Borgman couldn't handle the ball. We'll check that. It wasn't Tonjes, it was Tanya Norris, 18, not 8. Serving it up for UNC, Debbie Ponis, second-team All-American, and her service will not be returned, an ace for the first point for Northern Colorado.
Very first offensive weapon that a team has is a serve. If you can keep them off balance with that, you have a better chance to block the ball in transition.
1-4. And Regis content just to bump it over, and the little dink shot, and Regis is right there. Now the return and a blistering shot from Kathy Bronder.
Kathy, a smaller hitter out there. She's getting up right now. She's putting the ball. She's hitting with a little bit of heat. She's hitting it deep. They're not quite coming up with it yet.
Well, Regis certainly a team that lacking in height as far as teams among this tournament go. Nikki Eilenfeld, the sole 6-footer, while the remainder of the team seems to be in the 5'6" to 5'9" range.
These girls from Regis have a lot of heart out there. They get up, they can jump. The offense can help keep them in the game.
Dana Cash's return, played by Regis.
We had a double contact called on the setter. Looks like she's hurt.
That is Renee St. Marie, and if she is unable to continue, that would be a big blow to Regis. Renee, a second-team All-American. And she appears to be in a great deal of pain.
Setter's basically the quarterback of the team. And without the starting setter, you have to go and reach back and find out your backup setter. See if she's got it in her to
watch the bottom right-hand side of your screen. We'll see if we can pick up what happened to Renee St. Marie. There you see. Watch for 9, and we have a collision there in the middle of the screen, and hopefully for Renee, maybe just a mild sprain. I know sometimes when those knees or ankles pop for a while, it can really hurt like heck, and then a few minutes later you get the adrenaline pumping again and things feel a little bit better. So the training staff will attend to Renee, and Coach Frank Lavrisha will decide on who he will bring in as a replacement.
Absolutely. You know, a player's more scared than anything at first when you get an injury, and then you take a little bit of time to evaluate it and see if you can go.
In to replace Renee St. Marie will be number 10, Wendy Newman, a 5'4" sophomore setter from Rawlins, Wyoming. One serving for Northern Colorado with service. And on the line for the Bears will be number 1, Vicki Pruitt, defensive specialist. She's a senior from Denver. Hard serve, and did they call net?
Absolutely, the ball hit the top of the tape as it came over. That's a violation. Regis will serve.
So for the Rangers, bring on Julie Deegan for service.
Nice pass.
Attempted little dinker for Northern Colorado, and on the attempt was Dana Cash, the All-American, but Regis was there for the block, and it was number 13, Stephanie Borgman.
Kept her hands high, waited for it. She penetrated the net.
Big save for Regis. They play it back. What a play for the Rangers by Catherine Craig, but they're going to call a violation.
They called the setter underneath the net as she was trying to dig that ball that came up.
So now 1-5, and serving for NC is Tatiana Smith, the second-team All-American. The bump a little long, and nice dig for UNC by Vicki Pruitt. Newman with the set, and Bronder gets it over the net, but Colorado plays it back. Nice dig on the back row, but out of bounds, off the hands of Julie Deegan.
Dana Cash had nobody up on the block that time, and she let it rip right off the defensive player's arms and out of bounds.
That's a tough pass to make when you're back on your heels on the back row. The set, and a little tip over for Stephanie Borgman.
Again, they're trying to establish the middle, it looks like. They're running that quick stuff in the middle. And she just happened to be a little bit late that time, I think, and tap the ball down.
Bronder with service. The pass came over the net, and as does the second, but an error on Regis, and it'll be 3-5. Now UNC still serving.
Again, that height comes into play there. A bigger player probably try to swing and hit that ball down. Being a little bit shorter, she needed to touch that ball in play.
Regis attempting to go down the line, unsuccessful. Now it's 3-5. I was a point ahead, and Dana Cash will serve for Northern Colorado. Substitution for Regis checking into the game, Felicia Garcia replacing Catherine Craig. Felicia, number 1, a 5'9" sophomore from Commerce City, Colorado. Kept in play by Regis. They'll have to just bump it over. UNC will set up. They go from the outside, and it's a score for Tatiana Smith.
Tatiana on the slide. Hits the ball cross court. Nobody was home.
4-5 now. Northern Colorado climbing back in. Tipped over the net. And a kill for UNC. Debbie Ponis ties the ball game. And this time it'll be Frank Labricia's turn to call timeout.
After their setter went down, that's a big blow to a team. You got to be able to come back and rise above it and see if you can come out there and keep banging balls. It looks like the passing's going a little bit down, but you know, Frank's a good coach. I'm sure he can give them something to work with here, and they'll come out fired up.
Look at some of the crowd here at the CB Hedgcock Fieldhouse. Regis comes into the tournament. Seeded number 5, UNC number 4. They play in the same half of the bracket as Northern Michigan and New Haven. Dana Cash still with service, game even at 5. First game of the opening match of the Division II Elite 8, and Dana Cash sticks it into the net.
Coaches call timeout, and sometimes they call it for only one reason, and that's to try and ice the server on the other team and try and make her serve it out or in the net.
Regis served by Wendy Newman, who replaced Renee St. Marie, and the kill for Northern Colorado right down the middle.
Debbie Ponis is swinging big. She's bringing it from both barrels. She's hitting the ball pretty hard right now.
So it'll be Don Schaefer's turn to serve, the middle blocker. She's a 5'11" junior from Gillette, Wyoming. What a shot down toward the line by Stephanie Borgman, just too hot to handle for UNC.
Stephanie saw that last hit. She decided to bring a little heat of her own.
Score remains 5-5. A nice kill for Debbie Ponis.
Debbie Ponis hit that ball on about the 11-foot line. She hit that radical angle, defeated the block, and put the ball away.
So this one looks like it could go for quite a while. Schaefer again with the serve. Little attempted deception by Regis, runs into a block. Oh, and that set was just a little off as they were looking for Nikki Eilenfeld.
Little miscue in the middle there. The middle block was a little bit too late, I felt, and the set kind of low, and you have those two things, and that'll happen.
So Northern Colorado takes their first lead of the match. And there's the kill for Felicia Garcia, number 1 for the Regis Rangers.
Another great hit, tooled off the block.
And it will be Felicia's serve. The set, and off of Garcia in the back row. And that was Erica Wymore.
Another hit again on the slide. She's swinging high, swinging hard. She's putting the ball away.
Regis leading it 6-5. Debbie Ponis with service. Eilenfeld. Kill attempt is blocked and comes back into the net, and it'll be Northern Colorado's point.
There's a lift called to number 11 off the block. That'll be an attacking error for the middle blocker.
Julie Deegan, the guilty party, number 11 for Regis. And this time it'll go to Bronder. Coming back, Dana Cash, and side out. Dana unable to find the line on that one.
Sorry about that. She just went up, swinging high, swinging hard, just a little bit wide that time.
That is Dana with the pass, and with the kill, Tatiana Smith.
Little center dump there, catches them unaware.
And UNC will do some substitutions. Eilenfeld will take a seat for Regis. Katrina Polich comes in. The pass and the shot returned by UNC. Nice dig by Stephanie Borgman.
Great dig.
And another one on the other side of the net by Amber Petty. Regis keeps it alive and gets it over the net. Kathy Bronder with a behind-the-back shot. They'll set it up for Bronder, and she gets it off the hands of Tatiana Smith, but it will be a net violation on Regis. Not allowed to come in contact with that net. So ably strung by Mr. Kevin Hitt. There's the kill for Regis, and they'll get it back, but they trail 5-8.
Regis, a team with a lot of heart. They're scrappy. They're digging a lot of balls. UNC's coming into this game with a lot of firepower. Going to see who's going to win out here.
The set for Dana Cash, blocked by Borgman. And Borgman again with the tip. They'll go again to Dana Cash, and she tips it over in front of Kathy Bronder. Side out, Northern Colorado.
Seems that Regis is bringing their offside blocker inside to cover the tips. Northern Colorado's playing smart. They're tipping right over her head towards the left side of the court. Seems to be going down right now.
The set will go to Bronder, and she hits it right into the block of Brittany Tonjes, number 8, and successful side out Regis.
Another use of the block by the Regis players.
Kill for UNC. And they get it right back, so we've been stuck at 8-5 for a while here.
Volleyball's a game of side outs. Keep siding out, side out.
Cash with the save and the kill attempt. That's dug out by Julie Deegan. Now again, they'll go through the middle. That was Dawn Schaefer. Bronder will tip it back over for Regis. That was one of those close ones for Tatiana Smith. You're better to keep it in than be standing there on the line and let it fall out.
Absolutely. Try and keep the ball on the other side of the net. Let them make the mistake. The Regis Rangers, they're playing scrappy. They're digging a lot of balls. And they, UNC hit the ball out of bounds.
Service for Regis belongs to Wendy Newman. The set and an attempted dump and into the net.
4 contacts called on UNC. The ball never cleared nor touched the blocker. As soon as the 4th person hit the ball, they called 4 contacts.
So now 6-8. Brief strategy conference. Remaining with service will be Wendy Newman. Nice block up front by Regis. That was Stephanie Boardman, and give an assist to Nikki Eilenfeld.
That's a big block for Regis. If they can get up and stop the big girls from UNC, they're going to have a chance to win this.
Eilenfeld could well be the key for Regis. Nice block there, Stephanie Boardman against Stephanie, having yourself a heck of a game here early on.
Again, the tough serves. You can take a team out of their offense with tough serving and make them do what they don't want to do and give you the ball. And there seems to be a problem with tough serving. There's more of a chance to miss.
That service long for Newman, so with the game tied at 8, it'll go over to Dawn Schaefer. Little dump by Borgman. And a block, Boardman and Island but it came right back at him, courtesy of Debbie Ponis.
Use a block to hit the ball. She's hitting the ball very high right now.
They'll set it up for Islandfeld. Nice dig on the back row by Schaefer. Dana Cash with the looper. This one will go off the hands. Will they save it? Yes, great running play by Tatiana Smith. And they'll just dump it back over, but they will rule that Brittany Conch was out of bounds when she hit the ball.
The ball was outside the antenna when it came on to the other side of, when it came to Regis court. You must play the ball in between the antennas.
Short serve, set up, dump attempt. Islandfeld with the block and unable to handle it is Dawn Schaefer. 9-9.
Regis has had their tallest player in the middle right now, and she's doing a number on him at the net. She's getting high, penetrating, getting her hand on a lot of balls.
Ponis.
Great deflection. Let's see if they can put it away.
No luck there. They'll set it up again for Debbie Ponis with the little dump, but out of bounds.
You start blocking a player, they start thinking about the block more and more. They start thinking, what can I do to defeat it? She tried the tip. It was just a bit wide that time.
10-9 Regis. They serve. The set again. They continue to go to Debbie Ponis. Nice dig, but a double hit called against Julie Deegan, and it'll be shot out for the Bears.
She saw the tip was open last time, missed it wide, and tried it again, and it fell.
Regis unable to return the service, Brittany Tonjes. And our game now tied at 10. First game, best of 5, first match of the Elite 8. Figure it out. Islandfeld, and first lift is just a bit long.
Got a little bit under that one. Waffled it.
Northern Colorado back in front. This time the set will be for Catherine Craig, but the big block by Northern Colorado comes through.
The big block, the big players that can wear a small team down. It's all a matter of heart, scrappy play.
12-10 opportunity for Northern Colorado to really take control of game number 1. It's been a tight one all the way. Cash hits it over. Ronder keeps it in play, and Garcia will send it back. Nice set. A nice placement, should I say, by Tatiana Smith. Found an open spot and went for it and got it.
Setter's attack, I believe, is the most effective attack if they're unaware. She topped the ball right over the net, found a corner. That's another kill for the setter.
Well, it seems defensively you're usually of the mindset that they're going to hit it 3 times before it comes over the net, and sometimes you can pull a little surprise on number 2.
Right. Statistically, I believe that the ball that's hit on the second contact has a higher kill percentage than that of a third hit. I don't know why that's so, but it just seems to be the case. Setter's usually the one touching the second ball. Stacy Metro for Northern Michigan hit .515 this year, and I would say about 90% of her attempts are on that second ball.
There you see our score, 13-10 in favor of Northern Colorado here in game number 1.
Okay, here we go.
Brittany Tonjes will serve. Pumped back over by Boardman. Nice block by Islandfeld and Julie Deegan. But out of bounds, and it's 14-10, game point, Northern Colorado. And into the net goes the serve of Tonjes. And Regis will have one last chance. Garcia's serve. And that not handled by Tonjes, 14-11.
14-11, some teams like to roll over and die about right here, but I just don't think that Regis team is one of those teams. They're going to fight it out to the end.
And the dink by Debbie Ponus. Called out.
They had a under the net violation called against UNC, which will give Regis another point.
14-12, costly mistake for the Bears, but the service of Garcia goes into the net, and they'll turn it back over at game point. Debbie Ponus will serve. Debbie's had an excellent first game here in this match against Regis. They'll set it up, and that was Deegan with the placement attempt. Kept in play. It'll go for Bronder with the tip. Dana Cash keeps it in, gets it between the antennas. Eilenfeld couldn't get it over. Bronder, the set. Dug out in the back by Tonjes. Good point going here. Set up in the middle, Dana Cash. She's blocked by Eilenfeld. Bronder, she's blocked. Borgman keeps it alive. It'll come back, and unable to handle it was Julie Deegan. And Kevin, you saw something there
That was just an incredible rally. They kept the ball alive for a very long time. And again, Regis has not given up. They're scrapping. They're going to dig every ball they can. They're not going to give up until the whistle's blown. That last point is given. It's a great job by both teams to keep that ball alive.
So Northern Colorado takes the first game 15-12. I'd like to welcome our viewers to the CB Hedgcock Fieldhouse. My name is Dave Danis. Joining me is Kevin Hitt for the Division II Elite 8 volleyball tournament, the first national championship tournament to be held here at Northern Michigan University. And from what I've seen so far, just an excellent job by the staff at NMU in putting on the tournament.
A lot of hard work's gone into this event. Brian Verrigan has basically taken over and done a great job. He's done so many things. Jim Moore, he's taken care of so many things. There are just so many people that are doing things for this event and trying to make it a first-class event. You know, it's just a great job done here for the Elite Eight.
This tournament was played last year at Portland and won by the home Portland State Vikings. A 5-game thriller against Northern Michigan University. The Wildcats looking to return the favor this year on their home court. We'll take time out and come back with game 2 between Regis and Northern Colorado when the Elite 8 continues on Bresnan Communications.
Takes to be one of us, the few, the proud, the Maries.
It can happen so fast. You're helpless and alone in one of today's crowded emergency rooms. Help us help you by wearing Medic Alert. Medic Alert tells us your conditions and the medicines you take, so we can provide the right treatment in time. When seconds count, Medic Alert can save your life. To learn more, call 1-800-ALERT-80. That's 1-800-ALERT-80.
Welcome back to the CB Hedgcock Fieldhouse as we head to game 2 between the Regis Rangers and the Bears of Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado coming up with a hard-fought 15-12 victory in game number 1. I'm Dave Danis along with Kevin Hitt, and I tell you, we saw from Regis what we expected. Not the biggest team, not the quickest team, but a very scrappy competitor.
They're digging a lot of balls. They're getting above the net, and they're trying to do a little bit of a blocking. And, you know, you scrappy teams keeping the ball alive, taking it from the big girls from UNC. They're really putting a wallop on the ball. It's now just a matter of wearing each other down. Who's going to wear who down first?
Northern Colorado able to establish that in game number 1. Regis will start out with service in game 2, and it'll be Wendy Newman. No word yet on the injury to Renee St. Marie of Regis. Renee, second-team All-American, went down with an injury early in game 1. But if I can see past Coach Frank Lavrisha over on the bench, Renee is standing. It was an injury to her leg, so we'll see how she's walking around over on the sideline, and hope for Renee and for Regis that she can return.
Backup setter comes in from Regis. She's doing a great job so far, delivering the ball.
Gets the line. Point for Regis, 1-0.
That'd be a kill for Katrina. Debbie Ponis brings a little bit of heat, and she deflects it and puts it back on their side for a kill.
The tip and the save by Katrina Polich. He'll set it up. Debbie Ponis, tip. Dug out there. That was Wendy Newman. Ponis again. Kept alive by Regis and sent back over by Polich. Blocked, and that was Eilenfeld in the middle.
A little bit of roofage there. She came in with a quick set, and the Regis girls got their hands over and above the net and put that ball pretty much straight to the floor.
2-0 Regis. Game number 2. Debbie Ponis finds the open area in the middle of the court, and maybe it should be no surprise with the fact that Debbie Ponis is an All-American caliber player, but she seems to have gotten a large number of the kill attempts for UNC.
She's their gun right now. She's the girl that's putting the ball away for them, and they're going to go to her.
Got to go with your hot hand. And unable to catch the play of Erica Wymore was the back row of the Regis Rangers, now 1-2. The set for Eilenfeld, and she slams it home between Schaefer and Amber Petty.
Quick set out the middle. She got up, she put a hammer on it, and it fell to the floor.
Kathy Bronder, the service. They'll set it up. Debbie Ponis double hits it, and it goes out of bounds. 3-1 Regis.
Setter delivered the ball to the other side of the net. The girl got up. She put the ball down on the floor.
Save for Tatiana Smith. They get it back over this time. Whoa, nice dig out the back row by Dana Cash. Bronder plays it. The set, Eilenfeld again puts a hammer on it. 4-1, and I tell you, Eilenfeld has been the big gun for Regis here in game number 2.
Yeah, she's bringing rain right now. She's hitting high, hitting hard, racking up the kills early here in game 2.
Net service will turn it over to UNC, and that might be about the only thing that could stop Eilenfeld here in game number 2. Ponis unable to dig it out, turn it back over to Regis.
Regis trying to mix it up. She went off with the off-speed shot and just rolled the ball right in front of the left back defender.
Eilenfeld will serve. Amy Hill checks into the game on the front row. Amy wears number 14, sophomore from Brighton, Colorado. She takes the place of Katrina Polich. What a dig out the back row by Wendy Newman. Bronder sets it up. Newman couldn't get the set. Looked like she was going for Amy Hill, but a little miscommunication up in the front row.
UNC gave Regis a little give-me ball. Has a free ball over the net, and Regis couldn't put it away.
Well, sometimes those gifts are harder to handle than the big smashes.
Oh, absolutely. You just get so big-eyed when they come over, you think you're going to get a good hammer at it.
Set up for Dana Cash, and she finds some room along the back line past the diving Kathy Bronder.
If Dana Cash comes alive in this match and starts banging balls along with Debbie Ponis, Regis going to have a real tough time defeating this team.
2-4, and it'll go back over to Regis. And Renee St. Marie, number 9, the All-American from Regis, will come back into the game. It looks like Renee's moving around pretty well.
Again, you know, it could have been she was more scared than anything. She looks okay now. I don't see her hobbling all too much. That could be a big lift to Regis.
No lift there as Dana Cash goes down the offensive right-hand side. Side out UNC. They trail 2-4. Tatiana Smith serve. Set by St. Marie, and they're going to call a lift.
Ball was held just a little bit too long in her hands. Referee's discretion, she calls a lift. That's a point for UNC.
Renee's not going to like you. You said she'd give the team a lift, and by golly, she did, Kev. That'll be Renee to set.
Didn't quite mean it that way.
Into the block of Brittany Tonjes, and we now have a 4-4 game. Renee will give you his phone number. You can take it up with him. And went off the hands of Northern Colorado player, so side out Regis. Well, I tell you, sometimes that ball moves so fast, it's hard to tell if somebody got a piece of it, and the officials really have to have an eagle eye.
It's very hard. The ball's traveling sometimes at over 80 miles an hour. Very high, and even those slight touches, a little bit hard to get at.
There's the kill for Regis, and they go back in front 5-4.
Regis is coming out. They're set in the middle a lot here in game 2. It looks like they might have switched their game plan and trying to establish middle here.
Cash pumps it up. They'll set to Tonjes. Dumped back over the net. That was Renee St. Marie. Cash. St. Marie sets. This will be Kathy Bronder. Finds it in the back row. And a diving Debbie Ponis couldn't dig it out. 6-4 Regis.
Looks like Regis is getting a little bit of momentum here. The setter's trying to bring it back into the match. And she put the ball away with a little bit of authority there.
Bronder. Over. They set it up for Cash, and she gets it in there. Little English along the net off the hands of off the hands of Amy Hill. That ball just skimmed right along the top of the net before falling back onto the Regis side.
Dana Cash, she's a very good hitter on the outside. She has a lot of shots to use.
As does Amy Hill. Side out Regis. So far in game number 2, Regis has kept Northern Colorado from getting any kind of sustained pressure or momentum on. That serve goes into the net, and it'll come back to Northern Colorado as Vicki Pruitt comes out of the game.
There's one thing that kills momentum for teams. It's missing serves. And looks like both teams are missing quite a few serves right now. They start putting those in the court, they're going to start scoring points here.
They'll set it up. Debbie Ponis with the tip. Saved by NC. Kathy Bronder just looking for anywhere to hit it. Ponis again into the block. Nice dig out by Julie Deegan. Back row dig by Schaefer. Ponis fits it into the block of Eilenfeld. Side out Regis.
Regis Rangers get a roof up there. They're getting blocks. If Regis starts blocking balls, you can watch out for them.
Nikki Eilenfeld, number 7, sophomore from Littleton, Colorado, has been the key player for Regis here in game number 2. Newman will serve it. As Renee St. Marie goes back to the bench. Frank Lavrisha not wanting to put too much strain on that injured leg. What was the call there, Kev?
An unfortunate mistake for UNC. They gave up a free ball out of bounds for a point to Regis. You start making mistakes like that, the momentum will shift, and they'll start rolling with it.
7-4 now in favor of Regis as that ball was there, and it appeared that 2 members of the UNC team hit the ball at the same time. They both had the same idea, but only one can hit it.
Well, actually on the serve or at any other ball, I believe, is when the ball is contacted by two players simultaneously, it'll count as two contacts and neither may play the ball in the next play.
Timeout call just about to expire. And I do believe that one was called by UNC. Regis will have the ball side out, ahead 7-4 here in game number 2. Northern Colorado won the first 15-12. Service for Regis. Set it up. Debbie Ponis looking to go down toward the corner. Got a little too much of it, and it's 8-4.
Yeah, she gave a little waffle ball out of bounds. The set was a little bit too far towards the antenna, and I think she got all that one.
Weimer with the kill for UNC, side out.
She was up pretty high that time. She looked like she swung high and over the block, little off speed. Put her right in the middle of the court for the kill.
She almost looked like she hit that ball as she was coming down. Service is long. It goes back to Regis. So Northern Colorado with a rather inconsistent effort here in game number 2.
Missed serves will put you in a hole every time.
Substitution for Regis. Felicia Garcia will check back in place of Catherine Craig. Kathy Bronder with service. Cash will play it. They'll set it for Ponis. Bronder bumped over by Garcia. This time they'll set it up for Wymore and side out Regis as Wymore tried to go for the left-hand side and put it about a foot or two outside the line. 9-4 Regis. Of course, this Regis' second trip to Marquette this season. They were here for a tournament early on in the season as UNC gets the side out. You know, we talked with the Portland State coaches and players yesterday, and they felt it was an advantage to having been here before earlier in the season, and maybe Regis can pick up on that.
It's always good to be aware of your surroundings and to have played in the gym that the Elite Eight was going to be at, I think, is the main reason that teams came up here this year, because there's a definite possibility that it was going to be here early on in the season.
Debbie Ponis with the dig, but it goes over the net and out of bounds, and Nikki Eilenfeld will serve. It remains 9-4 Regis. And she got the line, and a disbelieving Bear squad disagrees, but it's 10-4.
That's a real close call out there. Line judges have a little, that's a lot tough. That's tough to call. Ball's traveling very fast.
Dana Cash with the tip, dug out by Garcia. Bronder looking for an open spot. Played by Schaefer. Cash, long, 11-4.
UNC, I think they need to start hitting the ball a little bit more. They're tipping too much, and Regis is all over it, and they're transitioning and getting points. I think you're going to see UNC come out here and start banging some balls.
Well, there may come a point where you start almost trying too hard.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're trying different shots. You know, they weren't getting blocked all that much, but they were getting blocked. And, the right back defensive player for Regis is playing really deep, so they're trying to tip it right over the block and down. However, now that I think Regis has made a defensive adjustment to that, and the tip's not quite working, I think UNC needs to come out and start banging some balls at him, get a good pass, and go from there.
There you see it, 12-15, 11-4. As you have a look at some of the crowd here at the Hedgcock Fieldhouse. Good turnout for an early Saturday afternoon game. Of course, college football not a high priority here in the UP today until tonight's Wisconsin-Michigan State matchup in Tokyo. But that doesn't start till 11 o'clock, so plenty of volleyball action to keep you entertained in the interim. Dana Cash with the dig. Now she'll go with the tip shot. Dug out by Garcia. Shot long, and that was Garcia. Actually, on the dig, it was not Garcia. I believe it was Polish. No, she's not in the game. Maybe it was Garcia. tell you, sometimes this ball moves even faster, not only faster than the officials can figure out, but faster than the announcers. Debbie Ponis, setter plays it over. Bronfeld. Another dig for Regis. Pulled out of the back row. They'll set it for Dana Cash, and Dana can't get it by Kathy Bronder. But they finally do put it down, and it's 5-11.
Another great rally by both teams, scrapping to keep that ball alive, fighting for the pointer side out.
Well, I said Bronfeld a minute ago, the action getting so hot. I'm combining players here, make it easier. Bronder and Eilenfeld, the two standouts so far for Regis. That is Eilenfeld, scraping the rafters, side out, 6-11.
Another miscue on the free ball. It's essential that you put the free balls on the other side of the court to try and make the other team make the mistake.
Newman with the set, Garcia. She had it blocked. Cash, they'll set it back to Dana. Eilenfeld with the dig. Setter attempted to play it over the net, then runs into the block. Side out Regis. Renee St. Marie will come back into the game, as will Julie Deegan for the Rangers. Newman and Boardman will take a seat. 11-6 Regis, game 2. And that is Renee St. Marie on the serve. Set it up again. Dana Cash runs into the block, and it's 12-6. Dana's eyes got big until she saw those arms up there, and she, at that point, unable to do anything but smack it right into the block. And that one comes back at you in a hurry. Nice placement by Don Schaefer for Northern Colorado. Regis a little more spread out, looking for somewhat of a harder play, and Schaefer was able to find a soft spot in that defense.
Nice little roll shot in the middle. She gets it for a kill and gets a side out.
St. Marie, the set, a little punch shot by Amy Hill. Dana Cash gets it blocked, dug out. Bronder. Garcia had it blocked, and was someone in the net.
They called no touch on that block. The ball hit the tape, came back onto the Regis side, and they called poor contact.
7-12 now. Northern Colorado's service. Of course, Dana Cash, a big part of that UNC offense here in the second game. She was the MVP of the NC Northern Premier and the Air Force Premier, in addition to the North Central Conference Player of the Year. School record holder in kills, digs, and games played. Also has the match record for digs. So Dana's a person who can do it on both sides of things, both offensively and defensively.
She's definitely a team leader. She jumps really well. She hits the ball really well. She's an all-around great player. And I believe Dana, if she starts getting hot here, she can lead her team to a win.
Northern Colorado with a record of 34-4 on the season. Regis 23-12. Garcia sends it to the back line. It was dug out by Vicki Pruitt. This time they'll set it up and dug out again. That was Smith digging it out, and Regis with the side out. 13-7. Northern Colorado here in game 2 has not been able to garner more than 2 consecutive points. And it's been the Regis squad building the big lead. Cash hits it into the block, but it stays on the Regis side of things with the block. That was Julie Deegan. Well, our scoreboard is wrong. It's not 13-7, it's 12-7, or 7-12 with Northern Colorado serving. Bronder tipped it over. St. Marie dug it out. They'll set it up. Point, Northern Colorado. And that's Tonjes, and we may have another injury problem for Regis. That's Kathy Bronder down on the court.
That ball was just hammered on the right side of the court. She brought a lot of thunder on that one as the ball hit the floor.
Well, Renee St. Marie missed the better part of game number 1 with the leg injury, and now Bronder will be helped off the court with an injury to her left leg. And another severe blow. I believe Regis is a team that has to have 6 healthy players in the ball game at all times. They need their top 6 or 7 players on the court. And right now, Bronder sits down and gets a look from the training staff. Dana Cash's serve into the net, and that's the second or third time Dana's done that this game. And so with the opportunity to gain a little momentum, UNC turns it back over.
Regis just having an injury and Dana Cash serving in the net. We'll see if Regis has a lot of heart here and can come back from this, from 2 injuries in the same match.
Side out Regis, now it's 13-8. Dana Cash will set it for Ponus. Debbie with the tip, dug out in the back row. They'll set it up for Ponus. She tries to slam it home and does so, as neither Garcia nor Hill could get enough of that ball to prevent the side out.
I think we need to see a lot more of that from Deb. She needs to come out there and just bang balls at them time after time after time and wear them down. Make them think they can't dig her. She needs to go out there and hit the ball.
Service out of bounds, so 2 crucial service errors for Northern Colorado. But I think you're right talking about Debbie Ponus. While Regis has built this lead, the name Debbie Ponus has not been called very often. And they were having a lot of success setting Debbie often. And that is Debbie. Off the hands of Wendy or Julie Deegan. Northern Colorado coming off 2 consecutive service errors will attempt to get one over and in.
It's always a bonus.
They are successful. The set for Eilenfeld into the block of Ponus and Wymore.
Here she comes again. She's in the front row. She was dominating in the early half of game 2, and she's trying to bring her team to a win here.
Services long for the Rangers. Debbie Ponus now serving for UNC.
I think if there's anything that frustrates a coach more, it's missing serves.
Garcia hits it. They rule it did not touch, or was not touched by a Northern Colorado player. That caught all net. Side out UNC. St. Marie the set, Garcia the slam, way long. So the point goes to the Bears. It's 10-13.
I think she caught the edge of the basketball court with that one.
If not the bleachers. Garcia into the block. 4 contacts against the Rangers, and it's now 11-13.
Looks like this injury's taking its toll on Regis right now. UNC is riding that emotional tidal wave. They're coming back, and Regis has got to come out and step it up and put a ball away right away in order to stay in this game.
A log cabin on the lake. Just me and my wife and fishing.
I can tell you what I won't do. Won't just curl up and vegetate.
Do something I've wanted to do since college. Go back to college.
Ir un crucero. Alaska.
Secure your retirement plans with U.S. savings bonds. The easy way to save, the safe way to invest. Get them where you work or bank.
Take stock in America.
U.S. savings bonds.
Now you see it. Now you don't.
Sir, nothing up there but sky.
It's not just a new aircraft. It's a new technology called stealth, and it will make an airplane all but invisible to radar. So if you want a career in tomorrow's technology, take a close look at the Air Force, because sometimes the biggest opportunities are the hardest to see.
Still nothing, sir.
Aim high. Air Force.
Rent a movie without ever leaving the house with the Bresnan Home Theater. Stop by our office and pick up an addressable converter box and begin enjoying Hollywood's latest releases today. Once you have the converter and movie guide, all you need to do is pick up the phone, call 228-2903 and ask for your selection. Your box will be activated and the charge will be added to your monthly cable bill. No tapes to return, no deadlines to beat, no late charges. Just Hollywood's best without ever leaving your home with Home Theater from Bresnan Communications. Northern Colorado, located in Greeley, Colorado. Debbie Ponis with the service. They'll set it up for Garcia, and she finds a soft spot. Side out Regis.
Sometimes you need a timeout just to calm down, relax, and get out there and reset yourself. She came back, she got a good swing at the ball, and she put it away like she needed to.
Service error, Regis. Service by Erica Wymore. St. Marie setter attack. Side out Regis.
The little setter gets the ball up and over, puts it in the middle of the court, catching UNC unaware, and that's a big side out for Regis right here.
Looked to me like Miss St. Marie was kind of close to a carry on that one. Dana Cash with the big hit for UNC, so it remains 13-11. Next game up will be a match in the lower half of our bracket between the defending champion Portland State squad and Tampa. Boy, that just found the inside of the line. It's now 12-13, and we're close to a brand new ball game.
Stormy pretty much hit everything with that ball, and she hit that a ton. And the girl just got lucky, got underneath the ball, and deflected it for a kill.
Blocked by Dana Cash. Ponis. They'll set it for Dana. She's blocked, and Tonjes was unable to return that block. Side out Regis.
Regis needs a point badly right here. They need a point to stay in this game because the momentum has definitely shifted to UNC.
And a double hit called on Debbie Ponis. 14-12. You called it. Regis got the point they needed. At 14-12, you're in control of the game. At 13-13, it's anybody's guess. Garcia will serve. Dana Cash bumps it off the net, and she'll have to tip it back over. They'll set it up, and into the block of Northern Colorado was Amy Hill.
Ball set a little bit too fast on the slide. She couldn't quite catch up with it.
Cash service. St. Marie the set. Hill just a little long. It's now 14-13. Regis holds the lead, but Northern Colorado holds the ball. Dana Cash, a looping serve. Hill. They'll set it up for Debbie Ponis. They'll check that Tonjes, and unable to dig the block out was Erica Wymore. Game point, Regis.
They need to serve the ball in the court. They need to get a big block right here for the game. A lot of momentum could be turned right here.
Ponis. This time they'll set it deep for Garcia. One-hand dig by Cash. Ponis out of the block. Digs it out. Tonjes tries to tip it over. Right there was Hill. There's the attempted kill. Nice dig in the back row by Dana Cash. And check that, not Dana Cash on the dig, but it was Erica Wymore, and it leads to a side out. 13-14 UNC.
The tipping game for UNC is just not working. If you notice, they're hitting the ball, they're putting it away. Regis Rangers have come up, and they're covering the tip very well right now. Again, UNC needs to come out and just start hammering balls and not give them the free ones.
Kathy Bronder will check back into the game. Both she and Renee St. Marie have sat out with some injury time, but here at crucial moment, they're both back in the ball game. St. Marie the set. Hill hits it over. Dug out in the back. Ponus slams it home. Tie game.
I want to know how that ball got by the block. Looked like maybe it got in right through the antenna. That's a great hit.
We're even at 14. We will play till one team is 2 points ahead. Dana Cash with the dig. Ponus tips it up, sent over. They'll set it for Gronder with the doink. Saved there by Tatiana Smith. Debbie Ponus has it dug out by St. Marie. Garcia hits it into the net. 15-14, game point UNC.
That emotion is turned. The tidal wave is now going for UNC with the hitting of Debbie Ponus. She's abusing that line. She needs to hit the ball still, and they might just pull this out.
Regis has squandered a 6-point lead. Ponus had it dug out. Nice block by Eilenfeld. Dana Cash stopped in the back row. The set St. Marie. Eilenfeld had it blocked. This time it'll be Kathy Gronder gets it through the block of Erica Wymore. It's not over yet for the Rangers of Regis.
They're not going to give up. They're going to fight until, like I said, the whistle's blown and the last point scored. They're going to be out there scrapping for everything.
Well, we could see this one go 5 games and go about 32-30 in the 5th. Ponus tips it over Eilenfeld. And again, it'll be game point for UNC. UNC fans on their feet. St. Marie tried to set her attack. It was blocked and sent back over. This time it'll be Eilenfeld. Side out, Regis.
Using the top of the block. Regis is fighting hard. They're trying to get it right here.
They trail 14-15. Kathy Gronder will serve it up. This time the set for Wymore, and she finds it whole. Game point again, USC. Their 3rd of the match. Or of the game, rather.
No one wants to give up. This is what the Elite Eight is all about. Both teams coming here trying to continue playing. They're really putting out an effort.
They'll set it for Garcia. She runs into the block. This time gets it back to the back line. Again blocked. The big UNC block. That was Hill hitting it over. Center attack. Unsuccessful for UNC. Side out Regis.
Regis needed that block to stay in it. They're going to come here and try and get a point, get a little bit more on ease, try and get it here and tie it up.
14-15. Eilenfeld service. Debbie Ponus.
Wow.
And it'll go over to UNC as Regis unable to return that smash.
She really brought it that time from the back row. She was swinging hard. I don't think anyone was going to return that one.
Game point again, Northern Colorado. Wymore's service. Will it get over? Yes, they do it. Oh, and Northern Colorado keeps it alive. Not that time, though. And it remains 15-14.
I'm starting to wonder if anyone's going to win this match, whether or not they're just going to side out all night.
Well, it's already 1:05, and the next game starts at 2:30. So this logistically could go on forever, but ideally will not.
What a great dig. That's incredible.
The set, Dana Cash with the tip. Side out, UNC.
This is just incredible display of defense. No one wants to give up the ball. It's incredible. This is great.
Division II volleyball at its finest. Service from Tatiana Smith. St. Marie will set for Garcia. Long game. UNC.
I think that's going to be a blow to Regis. They were up by 6 or something odd points. They had an injury that probably hurt them. And this could be a blow. We'll see how they'll come out here in game 3.
So with Northern Colorado up 2-love in the first match, to borrow the term from the game of tennis, We'll take a break and come back with Game 3.
Experience TV production through your local cable company. Bresnan Communications Public Access Facility offers you a camera, videotapes, audio, and editing equipment to produce and direct your own public access program. Certification workshops are now being offered to individuals, groups, or agencies in Bresnan Communications service area. Call our public access coordinator at 226-6261 today for more information.
Hi, I'm Charlie Steiner. For top quality sports, you tune in to ESPN. But for the best coverage of what's going on in your community, nobody beats your local cable company. This week and all year long, your local cable company is bringing you the finest local sports, arts, community affairs, and special events programming right into your living room. So tune in to local cable programming. Local cable programming contributes to life.
Welcome back to the CB Hedgcock Fieldhouse. We head to Game 3 of today's opening match between Northern Colorado and Regis. And Northern Colorado with a pair of hard-fought victories here so far. 15-12 in Game 1, 16-14 in Game 2, which Regis had led at one point 13-7.
A rash of injuries are coming over Regis. Their girls are getting hurt for some reason. It looks like both of the girls that are injured are coming out here for Game 3. They had a lot of momentum early, and the big guns of Colorado took over, I felt, and they're putting a little pepper on the ball. Again, I think they need to get away from that tip stuff and just go right at them with the heat.
That's the voice of Kevin Hitt, Northern Michigan student assistant coach, who will be with us off and on throughout the weekend. Watch for Northern Colorado, their two big guns, number 12, Dana Cash, and number 16, Debbie Ponis. Ponis, a second-team All-American. Cash, a first-teamer. Number 2, Tatiana Smith, also a second-teamer, although she's been relatively quiet. Northern Colorado will serve. It will be Dawn Schaefer, the sophomore middle blocker from Omaha. Cash keeps it alive. Ponis finds the spot down the left-hand side. 1-0, Northern Colorado.
Debbie Ponis, I think, right now with the Regis block is unstoppable if she keeps hitting. She just needs to get the ball delivered to her in an area where she can bang.
Swing and a miss for Regis. 2-0, UNC. Crowd starting to pick up here at the Hedgcock Fieldhouse. Kevin, I didn't get a chance to see many of Northern's matches this year, but how was your crowd support, and how does this so far compare?
During the year, we had roughly in between 400 to 500 fans, maybe a little bit less sometimes, maybe a little bit more. But we usually have a little bit more that's in here right now, and I'm sure it's going to pick up because of the number 3 team in the country, Portland State's going to be in here real soon against Tampa, and that's going to be a good match.
A couple of Northern players just crossing behind us, giving Kevin their best wishes. Tricia Tueller, one of the Wildcats. 3-0 now, Northern Colorado, as Regis unable to keep the ball in bounds.
It's going to take a lot of effort for Regis to come back. It looks like they're a little bit down here, and Colorado is smelling victory, I think, even this early.
Eilenfeld with the kill, so Regis will get the ball for the first time here in game number 3.
Again, Regis is not going to give up. That's just a given. They won't give up. They're going to continue to play. But Colorado is really going to put the hammer to the ball.
Well, Nikki Eilenfeld did, and it ended up in the net.
Got to serve that ball in the court. You just got to.
So it'll be Ponis' service. Gronder will dig it out. They'll set it up, and no one was home. 3-0.
There's another clue to what could be happening here on the Regis team. They might be feeling the pressure about right now. I think they just need to take a deep breath, relax, and go out there and do what they know how to do. Excuse me.
St. Marie set, Hill with the slam, side out Regis.
I guess that's knowing what to do. She brought the heat. She hit that ball incredibly hard. That's a great hit.
So Stephanie Boardman serves it up for Regis. The set to Dana Cash into the block of Hill. This one will get set for Garcia, partially blocked. Cash again will play it. This one goes to Garcia and off of the hands of Debbie Ponis. And that one goes in favor of the Rangers. 1-3 the score. Nice little tip by Dana Cash, gets over the net to set Garcia. And now it'll be for Northern Colorado, that was Erica Wymore getting the ball back. And there's been, even though it's 2-0 Northern Colorado, nothing quick or easy about this match. Of course, that's something you might expect from teams that are seeded numbers 4 and 5 in the tournament.
Absolutely. They are both playing with a lot of heart right now. UNC, the bigger team, I think they're bringing a little bit more heat in here. It's going to make it a little bit tougher on the Regis team.
Vicky Pruitt's service was into the net. They turn it over to Regis. Dana Cash hits the block of Bronder and Hill. Side out Regis.
Again, a nice hit.
Check that, Northern Colorado.
Excuse me. Nice hit by Dana Cash. She's using that block. She's got a lot of shots. She can hit the ball down. She can use a block, and she has a nice tip shot. She's using them all here tonight.
St. Marie with the back set over the net, and Northern Colorado had some trouble returning it. They finally got it over. Bronder off the block, side out Regis. (1-3) the score. Service out. And it comes back to Northern Colorado. For some of you not quite as familiar with the game of volleyball, only the serving team may score except in game 5 when any side out results in a point. Score out is given, serving team first. Hockey fans are used to the team ahead getting their score announced first, and volleyball serving teams score announced first. Right now, 3-1. Northern Colorado make it 4-1. Dana Cash on the serve. Nice dig by St. Marie, showing no ill effects from that game 1 injury. Slammed into the block of Eilenfeld. Nice dig out the back row by Borgman. Debbie Ponis. Borgman again on the dig, but unable to keep it in bounds, and it's now 5-1.
Although Debbie killed that ball, I just don't know why she's not just going out there pounding people. She's bringing range. She hits the ball very hard. And, you know, that tip stuff, she can intimidate them, I believe. She just needs to go out there and hit the ball.
Well, we have a timeout right now. Our next match could be an interesting one between Portland State, the defending champs, and Tampa, who comes out of the Southern Regional. Portland State under a new coach this season. They've at times had some difficulty adapting to the new system, but at times have played it nearly flawlessly. And they've played it well enough to remain in the top 3 all season long. The top 3 teams in the tournament, Northern Michigan, Cal Bakersfield, and Portland State. Of the losses suffered by those teams, none has been suffered outside of that group. They have only lost to each other, the top 3 teams in the country. Bronder's shot is long, 6-1 UNC, and that really is something when you see 3 teams of that caliber and the only losses among them is among them.
Absolutely. All 3 teams are very tough. And, you know, back to the game here, Regis right now, they're just, they're in trouble here. They have no momentum. They're trying to get up. They need to get some thunderous kills. They need to pass the ball. They look like they're in trouble right now, though.
Bronder takes a seat. Catherine Craig comes in. The set for Eilenfeld. Nicky gets it through, and Northern Colorado unable to return, so maybe that's the break they're looking for. And Kevin, I believe at this point in the game, this is where you have to create a break for yourself.
Absolutely. You need to do something that's going to get your team up. A big kill somewhere can bring a team up. A great block can bring your team up.
The set for Eilenfeld off the block. Debbie Ponis kept alive. What was the call?
Had a net violation on Regis as she went up to hit. Blocker went up, trying to be a little bit too aggressive, I think, and just reached out and touched the net.
7-1, Northern Colorado, game 3. They're up 15-12, 16-14, 7-1. Eilenfeld finds the line. And side out Regis. That one had eyes as it shot out the back line in Northern Colorado's end of the court. This one will be set for Debbie Ponis. St. Marie will set it. Garcia will slam it, partially blocked by Wymore. Ponis. And we had a whistle before the ball was finally played.
Setter was called for a net violation. The shorter setters, when the balls pass a little bit tighter to the net, have more of a chance to net, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, what happened there was the Bears finding some room back in the court of Regis, so they will serve, leading 7-2.
Debbie Ponis, she's bringing thunder again. When she gets that set in her area, she's almost unstoppable. She's just really hammering balls.
The set for Garcia, partially blocked. Ponis had it blocked. Eilenfeld and Boardman side out of Rangers. One of the Northern Colorado players not content to just toss the ball back over, but the little kick, and maybe a bit of frustration now for UNC.
Well, let's look for Debbie Ponis to get the ball again here soon. Has a nice set out of the middle and a nice kill by the middle blocker.
That was Erica Wymore. Debbie Ponis will serve. We have not called the number of Dana Cash often here in game 3, so watch for number 12 on the left-hand side. The set, and Hill tried to dink it over and didn't quite get it. Little roll shot. 8-3 now, UNC.
Right here, it's all or nothing. You need to start swinging hard, making that ball hit the ground. You really got to go for it. You can't play not to lose. You got to play to win.
St. Marie again will set for Garcia, and Felicia with the kill. And Regis will again have the volleyball. Checking back into the game for Regis will be Julie Deegan and Wendy Newman. Boardman and St. Marie will take a seat on the bench with Coach Lavrisha. That is Newman on the service. The set for Dana Cash, tried to tip it, caught the block, but into the net was Regis. That was number 14, Amy Hill.
Trying to be, again, a little bit too aggressive on that tip. They wanted to throw that back down with authority, got a little bit too excited and grabbed the net.
Newman will set it. Garcia going for the slam and gets it. Side out Regis. Service error, just a little long. And I find it kind of interesting, just looking at it from the perspective of some other sports. Regis had the service error, and team comes together and slaps hands. I think you see in other sports when you get a few of those errors, somebody's more likely to kick your butt than slap your hands.
I don't know. It's just a way to try and keep everybody happy, keep them in the game. Volleyball's a sport where you really need to focus and stay intense.
2-8. Service UNC, or Regis rather. Katrina Polich checks into the game. And she will serve. The set for Tonjes. Dug out. And that shot long, that was Julie Deegan. Side out UNC. The scoreboard remains at 8-2.
UNC, I think, is letting up just a little bit with this lead. And they need to put these girls away and go for it right here, because Regis, like I said many times, is not going to give up.
Ponis had it blocked right back at her by Julie Deegan. So it comes back to the Rangers. St. Marie will check back in, as will Stephanie Boardman. St. Marie will serve. Regis trails. Attacked right back over by St. Marie. Eilenfeld keeps it alive, and we have a net call against UNC. 3-8.
UNC's got to put it in gear now and know that Regis is coming after them. They got to start hammering balls again.
That was blocked, and it comes down on the Regis side of the net. Side out UNC, Schaefer to serve.
Little power tip there by Debbie Ponis, just puts the ball right through the block, lift called on Regis, and that's a kill for her.
NCAA Division II Championship Tournament, the Elite Eight, here at the CB Hedgcock Fieldhouse on the campus of Northern Michigan University. I'm Dave Dennis, along with Kevin Hitt. Regis serving. Northern Colorado leads 15-12, 16-14, and they're up 8-3 so far in game number 3. The block by Eilenfeld, and it's 8-4.
She was up and over the net. She had the roof, she had the shingles, the nails, and the hammer. She was up there.
Tonjes off the antenna. And unlike the game of baseball where it's a home run if you hit the foul pole, no such luck in the game of volleyball.
Now you got to keep the ball in between those two little black lines out there. Linda Dell calls timeout for UNC. She knows her team's letting up just a wee bit, and Regis feeds on that. Regis coming back here, and they're trying to make it into a game right here.
5-8 now for the Rangers of Regis. As we mentioned, they began the season with 9 losses in their first 11 outings and went 14-3 from that point on. The turning point, a game against Fort Lewis, which they lost, but maybe their team found a little something. Fort Lewis, a team that was 7th in the conference. They lost 15-13 in the 5th of that game, and the Rangers decided at that point in time it was time to fine-tune their game, and they've done so, and it's got them to the tournament. And there's the kill for the Rangers. It's now 6-8. They trailed 7-1, and they're coming back.
Here comes that team with a lot of heart, scrappy defense. They're fighting. They're still in this.
Service error. Turned back over to UNC.
That hurts.
Substitution. Tonjes comes out. Amber Petty checks in. The set will go for Garcia, and what a slam.
She was high in the air. She got all that one. She just put that ball to the floor, and no one was digging that.
You couldn't have dug that with a steam shovel.
I couldn't have dug that.
6-8. St. Marie, the set. Gets back over. Tip shot by Ponis. Kept alive. St. Marie keeps it going. Good point going on, and that one finds floor from Erica Wymore.
Nice hit out of the middle. She finds that golden corner and puts the ball away.
Bonus to serve, 8-6 UNC. Northern Colorado in the white, Regis in the blue and gold. Garcia, she's had a couple of big kills here, and that one gets a side out for the Rangers. And a serve for Stephanie Borgman of Norfolk, Nebraska. Borgman kept it alive. Tip shot. Eilenfeld keeps it going. Garcia trying to find back row, finds it out of bounds. And it'll remain 8-6 with the service going to Erica Wymore of Northern Colorado. Kept alive over the net. Slam. Number 2, Tatiana Smith. Make it 9-6.
5-6 setter using all of her height on that one. Got up there and hit the ball.
Service Wymore. Off the net. Well, I tell you, in close games, that can just cause coaches to pull their hairs out one by one.
That's why I don't have many left. You got to serve the ball in the court.
And if it's game 5, it comes out by the handful.
I don't think I can pull that much out anymore.
They set it up for Dana Cash. Tipped over. St. Marie. Slam into the block. Side out UNC. With our score at 9-6. Garcia plays it out of the back row. And that one hit by Catherine Craig, just about 6 inches long. Regis trails at 6-10, and they'll call timeout.
Looks like they came out, they gave it a little bit of a shot. They're trying to play very hard. They got back into the game, but trying to keep that intensity for a very long period of time is very hard. And UNC, the bigger team, is starting to wear them down, and they're going to come out here. Regis going to try and get back the intensity they lost, and we'll see what happens.
Take a look at the Hedgcock Fieldhouse, Marquette, Michigan. Tell you, some of the teams we're talking, and especially those that came from areas like Tampa and Bakersfield, one of the other teams had a player on their squad from Barbados, and they found the weather just a bit chilly yesterday, but today, not a bad day.
Well, I heard it's 83 degrees in Tampa right now.
And maybe half that in Marquette. Shot is long by Craig, 11-6. Gronder will check back in.
They'll bring in the bigger player, try and give them a little bit of a boost out there on the outside.
Smith serves it. Gronder with the return. They tipped it over. Hill got it back over for Regis. Saved by Garcia. Cash kept it alive. That one tipped. Borgman. St. Marie. Gronder. Blocked. St. Marie. Gronder. The tip. Kept alive by Pruitt, or Smith rather. Garcia plays it out the back row. St. Marie with good hustle, and Borgman will slap it over. And that one off the block of Regis. 12-6. Dana Cash with the point. Gronder will come back out of the game, and Craig will come back in. Northern Colorado in control at 12-6, but that can change. Right there, Amy Hill with the kill. Side out Regis. the set, and we have a net violation. That against Northern Colorado, it's 7-12. They set it up for Dana Cash, tried to tip Eilenfeld with the block. That was interesting.
Nice block by the middle blocker from Regis. Dana Cash trying the off-speed stuff again, but that got stuck.
8-12 now, Regis still trails. They'll set it up for Eilenfeld, and she finds the middle of the court. Nothing but floor, 12-9.
Watch out when she starts playing. She'll get up and she'll start doing some damage for you.
Well, we've seen her get hot at different points in time, and she may be beginning to do so here at 9-12 in game 3.
Now would be a good time to get hot for Regis.
Not just for Eilenfeld, but for the entire Ranger squad.
Absolutely. They're going in spurts right now, and they need to come back here and try and get 3 points and tie this game up and go from there.
Other games today, the next one will be between Portland State and Tampa. They'll be followed by Cal State, Bakersfield, and Gannon. And then finally at 8 o'clock tonight, Northern Michigan goes up against New Haven. 9-12. Regis serves. Amy Hill sets it in play, serves it long. And they'll go back over to Northern Colorado. Dana Cash with the serve. St. Marie, the set. And knocked down by Catherine Craig.
Regis again trying to get that momentum back, trying to stay up. Every kill they get will just help their momentum to go. And let's see what happens here with a little bit of momentum.
Tonjes tips it over. The set for Craig. Block. Dug out in the back row. Debbie Ponis. And Garcia was there for Regis. That was Erica Wymore. Ponis again gets the tip, but St. Marie was there for Regis. Now they'll set it up for Tonjes. High deflection, and that one into the second row. Where is the point at which you can no longer play the ball? If you've got someone quick enough to jump over those chairs and dive into the stands for it, are they going to let it play?
No, the out of playing areas anywhere in between the two benches by the scorer's table and the bench, including behind it, is out of play. You're allowed to take one step into the non-playing area as long as it's safe for that player to do so.
Of course, that non-playing area may vary from court to court.
Absolutely. With the different court dimensions, we play on a basketball court, so we have a little bit more room to maneuver out there.
13-9 UNC. Eilenfeld had it blocked. And that was Erica Wymore, 14-9, match point. Northern Colorado here in today's first game.
Regis up against the wall right here. Look to him to go to number 7 in the middle on a good pass.
The set, Debbie Ponis. Dug out by Garcia. That time, saved by Tonjes.
Look to him to go to the middle here.
Garcia sends it, kept alive by Schaefer. That shot was blocked, net violation. Regis matched Northern Colorado. Oh, what a tough way to get the match point called on you. Our final score in game number 1, Northern Colorado defeats Regis 15-12, 16-14, and 15-9.
This was a great exhibition of defense. Both teams, they played a lot of good defense out there. Regis hung tough the entire match, played in spurts a little bit, but they hung tough and they gained a lot of respect out here.
So Northern Colorado will meet the winner of tonight's game between Northern Michigan and New Haven tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. For us, meanwhile, we'll take time out and come back with today's second game between Portland State and Tampa when the Division II Volleyball Elite 8 continues here on Bresnan Communications.